The disturbing rise of iPad kids.
iPad kids. Gen Z, we're told, is terrified by the prospect of raising a generation of children who are slaves to their iPads. The term iPad kids is commonly used to describe children who are raised without any restrictions on their screen time. And the topic of iPad kids is commonly used to describe children who are raised.
Bruh. How does this generation be? Bro got a whole iPhone. Bro, what is this? Like a 10? 11? Like, bruh. And an iPad. And bro probably can't even say his ABCs, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Bro watching TikToks with one hand and playing Minecraft with the other one. This really how it be nowadays, though, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. And he has a wrestling ring, but he ain't playing with no toys, bro. He's consuming as much content as possible that his little brain can handle, bro. That's crazy. Least stimulated iPad kid. True. He probably have something on the TV too.
Without any restrictions on their screen time. And the topic, ironically enough, gained significant traction on TikTok amongst TikTok kids. There is now a whole genre of TikTok videos that have garnered millions of views.
I keep my phone for like 3 years, and then I get a new one, cause like Apple be slowing down the phones and stuff after like 3 years. But I like my 13, I'm cool with this. I ain't gonna lie, it was like acting up a little bit though. Earlier this year, and I was like, bro, I might have to just give me a 15. But what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. But I'm probably just gonna get a 16 this year, whenever that drops, and then move on about my day. You know, I just upgrade every 3 years, because I went from a 8. Well, I went from an 8 to a 10. I don't know why I went from 8 to 10. Oh, my 8 started like messing up, like weird. It was like really, really weird. So I just went from 8 to 10, and then I went from 10 to 13, and then now I'm going to go from 13 to 16. Because I heard the jump from 15 to 16 is going to be pretty big. I heard. I'm sure it's all going to be just a better camera or something, but even then, like, I'll probably, because I'm going to be doing more like IRL stuff starting this year. So I think having a phone with a better camera would probably be best for that.
Where users openly criticize and ridicule the behaviors of iPad kids, throwing tantrums when the devices are taken away.
Okay,
criticize and ridicule the behaviors of iPad.
This isn't that bad. This right here, you're sitting down, like, watching a YouTube video, I'm assuming, or whatever, while you're eating. That's not that bad, bruh. I do that, bruh. I'll sit down and eat, but, like, I can't even touch my food until I find a video to watch, bruh. 9 times out of 10, I'm watching, like, some highlights or matches or whatever from like AEW or whatever wrestling show was on that day. 9 times out of 10, because that was me last night. I was watching Hard to Kill while I was eating food. So like, I don't think that's that bad. That's
throwing tantrums from the device.
Watch my cousin throw his biggest tantrum after I take his iPad away. Now this is crazy.
Devices are taken away, displaying a complete disinterest in engaging with others, lacking the ability to play with traditional toys, etc. But behind all the sarcasm and dark humor lies a whole host of uncomfortable truths about where our society is going. The kids of today are bad, but the kids of tomorrow will be living a life we can't even think of. Generation Alpha is something we don't want to think about. But what's actually going to happen to these kids in the future? Well, to understand what's going to happen and why iPad kids are such a terrifying phenomena, we need to look at how things were a few decades ago. It wasn't long ago when it was normal for children to play outside, unsupervised for extended periods of time.
It was pretty normal in my neighborhood too for us to all be outside for extended hours. Like it'd be like 9, 10 in the morning. I'd eat breakfast at home, wash the dishes, put everything back up, and then I'd go outside and I wouldn't be back in until dinner was already like done and cold. Like I'd have to warm my dinner up, bruh. That's how late I'd be outside. And that was a normal day.
Specifically to play with other kids from their neighborhoods.
What's up, Virgil?
Your parents probably did the same, all for extended periods of time, completely unsupervised.
We finished Double May Cry yesterday.
Building forts and climbing trees. And doing this helped children develop useful skills for their adult years. They learn how to communicate, how to negotiate, how to delegate, how to defend themselves, how to make friends, and the importance of teamwork. It helped them develop lifelong friendships. Play helped these children develop as humans to become, as the author Nicholas Taleb said, anti-fragile. It fostered creativity. Play along with other key components like community, traditional family values, and religion religion, helped form what philosopher Peter Berger called a sacred canopy, an invisible structure that stretched over society, providing a shield that protects people from the uncertainties and cruelties of life. Outdoor, unsupervised play helped create better citizens and in turn, a better society. However, in the early 80s, outdoor unsupervised play became far less frequent, replaced instead by closely monitored trips to the park and heavily supervised playdates. By 1997, the year Generation C officially began, the days of widespread unstructured play were officially dead. And fast forward to today, and outdoor unsupervised play has almost been entirely replaced by
Whoa.
dead. And fast
Completely dead. Starting with Gen Z is kind of crazy, all right? As an elderly member of Gen Z, unfortunately, I would claim to be a millennial. Trust me, I've tried. But I don't believe that it died with us. It's because people nowadays have kids and they just, you know what I'm saying, be letting their kids run amok inside of the house and then just give them an iPad so they shut up. But it's like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? But then people say, like, there's people all, like, they'll always be like, bro, my kid gonna be outside. My kid not gonna be doing it. Cap. Kids don't even be outside no more, bro. Cap. Kids are inside fucking grinding Fortnite championships in the crib. Like, they are not outside no more, bro. Not like they used to, at least. I don't think it's completely dead. At least in my neighborhood, it's not completely dead. But it's definitely nearing that. Like, probably like record level lows.
forward to today, and outdoor unsupervised play has almost been entirely replaced by indoor unsupervised screen time, and family time replaced by screen time. Today's children suffer from nature deficit disorder, a term coined by author Richard Louv.
We're creating an environment in which I believe, by definition, they are less alive. What parent wants their child to be less alive? What teacher wants their students to be less alive?
At the same time, rates of childhood conduct disorder, a precursor to psychopathy, continues to increase. This worrying rise is completely connected to a lack of unsupervised play and the fact that more and more parents are outsourcing the role as primary caregivers. And outsourcing to who? Well, the people who control the algorithms. Artificial intelligence like Siri, Alexa, and a whole host of other artificial creations have zero interest in protecting the most vulnerable, and instead using them as pawns to advertise to, mold, and create into the ideal people for Amazon, Apple, or whatever big tech company. In truth, these advanced algorithms.
I just want to see like what they grow up into. That's what I want to see. Like if you've had an iPad your whole life and you've grown up and you're like consistently like being fed information from an algorithm your entire life, like what does that turn you into? Have we gotten that far yet? Are those people grown-ups yet? Or?
Algorithms target babies and toddlers, identifying their weaknesses and exploiting them mercilessly. So as they grow up, they're always dependent on their tablets, and the effects of this will be disastrous for society. But the problem is today, it's more and more tempting to rely on screens. Parents today have so many things to do. Both parents usually work.
All right, don't use a controller. Whoa. Don't use a controller as an example. I've been playing games since I was 4 years old. Right, I was playing on the little PS2. I was gaming on the PS2 when I was 4. Right, I was playing Midnight Club, every SmackDown game in existence, and GTA. What was it? Not Vice City. Damn, I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, yeah. So, and I'm a perfectly fine member of society. So we can't don't compare me to no iPad kid,
no, because no one has any money anymore.
I'm not built like
and
that,
so when parents come back exhausted, it's just so much easier to give their kid an iPad, while the parents can relax for an hour or two. But ongoing research consistently highlights the long-term effects of excessive screen time on kids. Such effects include memory impairment, reduced emotional control, heightened levels of apathy and anxiety, lower levels of empathy, delays in speech and language development, and even criminal behavior. And when parents aren't watching their young ones, sexual predators are. And I mean that quite literally, but more on that later. In 2017, psychologist Dr. Jean M. wrote for The Atlantic that Generation Z has in many ways been destroyed by the rise of smartphones. And we all know this. Generation Z is more anxious, more depressed, more suicidal, less likely to date, less likely to have sex, less likely to venture outside, less likely to have any friends, less likely to talk to family members, more lonely, more isolated, and more less likely to have any friends.
Fortnite.
Less likely to date, less likely to have sex, less likely to venture outside, less likely to have
I just went outside and went to the gym today.
have any friends, less likely to talk to family
Bro, mom trying to tell him something. He's just like, yeah, I'm dropping at Pleasant. He over here giving comms.
members, more lonely, more isolated, and more depressed. Generation Z is down bad. We all can see this. It's a horrific transformation in the last few decades that has created the generation we see today.
Nico!
But just think of Generation Alpha, i.e. the iPad kids, who are going to be even sicker, dumber, sadder, and more lonely than the iPad kids, who are going to
Bro, what was
be
that
even
clip,
sicker, dumber,
bruh. Come on, gang. Come on, bruh. I refuse to believe this is a real clip, bro. I refuse to believe that this is real, bro. Why do you have the circle in the square? Okay, yeah, circle can't fit in there, but like, come on, bro. You're not finna force this square into the circle, gang. Come on, bro.
sadder and more lonely than Generation Z is today. Not to mention fatter. You see, children in the past would engage in hours of play every day, which not only allowed them to burn calories and maintain their physical fitness, but also facilitated social interaction.
I'm an obstacle course kind of guy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm an obstacle course kind of guy.
Not to mention fatter. You see, children in the past.
Like, this is my body right here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like going around on some like obstacle course type move, like this is
engaging
me,
hours
bruh.
of play every day,
this
which not only allowed them to burn
calories. This looks like this is a day at the office for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, like, bro, this is me right here. Like, like if my gym had something like this, bro, I would be doing this every day for a warm up, bro. This would be my warm up every day. At the like this would be it right here.
And maintain their physical fitness, but also facilitated social interaction, enhanced cognitive abilities, and alleviated stress. However, as playtime is diminished, all aspects of childhood development have been negatively affected, with the consequences on health and obesity being particularly concerning. The association between
Alright, bro. More screen time, more obesity is kind of crazy, bro. The screen time falls on the parent, and obesity also falls on the parent too. But I feel like the parent could, like, they could prevent the obesity before they prevent the more screen time. More screen time is like you know? It's kind of hard to do because the parent would also need less screen time, and they're probably not going to do that, right? So that's going to be kind of hard. But obesity, come on, gang. Just stop feeding the kids so much snacks and tell them to go outside. Come on, bro.
Increased screen time and obesity is undeniable. More screen time activity tends to go hand in hand or hand in mouth with higher food consumption and less long-term gratification. Multiple studies
why a little Jit open his eyes like
hand
that?
in hand or hand in mouth with higher food consumption and less long-term gratification. Multiple studies have demonstrated that prolonged screen exposure actually leads to a heightened desire for
He saw that notification that I went live.
Food and increased snacking habits amongst children and teenagers. And to compound this, studies show that the most obese children go on to become obese adults. In fact, about 55% of kids who are obese during their childhood will continue to be obese during their adolescence, ostracizing them even further. That's why it's now estimated that around 80% of adolescents who are obese will still be obese when they reach adulthood, ostracizing them further and further, making them more unhealthy, making them have less testosterone, and less ability to actually enjoy.
Why he keep putting them clips of Nico in there, bro? Chill on my mans, bro. He's getting skinny, bro. Chill, bro.
Life as they should be. And if you don't believe me, most children now have a cell phone by the age of 7. Just look around you. So many kids at restaurants.
7 is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Cause look, if my kid says I need a cell phone to talk to you, you know what I'm saying, after basketball practice or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just call me after your practice is over. I'll get you a little flip phone or something, bro. A little flip phone, you know what I'm saying? You can play some Brick Breaker. You can play some Galaga, some Dig Dug, you know what I'm saying? You can play games on the phone. I don't get you no phone without no games on it. But that's all you need is something to entertain yourself and a method to call me, bro. That's it. That's all you need that phone for, little bro. I'll probably get you a cell phone when you get in like middle school, high school. Cause middle school I'll get you like a little low-key phone, you know what I'm saying, to hold your own. So you don't get roasted too much. Maybe an iPhone like 18 will be out, and I'll get you like a 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get you something that you can hold your own in a conversation or something with somebody. But you don't need nothing super crazy, bro. Not until you get a job. and then you could just buy it on your own. You know what I'm saying?
Restaurants everywhere you go are on their iPads or their iPhones,
I have no
going
phone, so
online for hours at a time, doing things that their parents are completely oblivious to, fueling a huge mental health epidemic for children, which is why in recent years, there have been record levels of sadness and self-harm within kids. Instagram in particular has been found to have detrimental effects on mental well-being. A study investigating the frequency of Instagram use revealed a strong link between its usage and various negative outcomes such as depression, lower self-esteem, appearance anxiety, and body dissatisfaction. Millions of children as young as 10 use Instagram and are regularly bombarded with sexualized imagery and traumatizing self-harm footage, not to mention always feeling insecure compared to the people who live better lives than you, or at least they seem to. So is it any wonder that kids today are so miserable if we're setting them up like this in the first place? Their innocence is being ripped away from them at such a young age and replaced with something truly awful. Even YouTube Kids, designed specifically to cater to children as young as 4, is really not safe at all. The application has been shown to offer children content.
Bro, what is this, bro? Why is Spider-Man pregnant, bro? Who is recording this?
Of a sexual nature, as well as material focusing on alcohol and drug consumption, predator content, and other strange things, really not meant for 4-year-olds. More recently, a number of reports have emerged regarding harmful material on YouTube that specifically
disturbing content is targeting children.
Targets children as young as 2.
We have isolated some of these so people can understand exactly
the real Peppa Pig, fake Peppa the Pig.
Exactly what we're talking about. On the left of the screen, there's the real episode of Peppa Pig when Peppa goes to the dentist. And on the right, that fake that you're talking about, fear, torturous appearance. And here's another example that we pulled from Paw Patrol, which you mentioned. Firefighter to the rescue. And then on the right, the fake, the crash, the death, the fear.
Basically, nefarious individuals have tampered with content from pop.
Bro, is that Poppy's Playtime? This Skibbity... Superheroes transform into Skibbity Toilet. Super Mario and Luigi versus Skibbity's... What is happening?
Shows children's franchises, including well-known shows like Peppa Pig, Nickelodeon's Paw Patrol, and Disney's Froze. These perpetrators have inserted inappropriate and unsettling content featuring beloved characters, causing subliminal trauma to unsuspecting toddlers. And these are the people bringing up children today. When you get parents out or they come back from work all tired and exhausted, they just give the iPad to the kid who is then raised by these predators. The girls seem to have it way worse than the boys. It's just more and more we find out how bad social media really is for women in particular. We've all seen these articles like teen girls are facing a mental health epidemic, teen girls report record levels of sadness, American teen girls are not okay, each one loaded with these horrific stories and weird side effects. And in recent times, psychological professionals have seen a huge rise in individuals seeking help for mental health disorders and symptoms resembling Tourette's syndrome. And it's coming out more and more that TikTok's actually to blame here, as these are now being called TikTok tics, where young individuals, particularly young girls, are manifesting symptoms of various disorders due to exposure to social media influencers who themselves
POV, you have Tourette's. Your tics are just glitches. What?
Exhibit these
This is a trend?
symptoms. TikTok tics are distinct from what medical professionals usually see in patients with Tourette's. They're an example of mass sociogenic illness, or mass hysteria, where behaviors, emotions, or conditions spread spontaneously within a group, including online groups. Moreover, the more time individuals, especially girls, spend on social networking websites, the more likely they are to experience psychological distress and even contemplate ending their life. With 60% of young girls claim they have now experienced bullying online as well.
Okay, alright. Hold on. 80% of girls, women. What about the percentage of males? No one knows if you're a boy or a girl, you're just a freak.
just compounding the mental health epidemic even worse. Is it any wonder that Gen Alpha is doomed? If Generation Z is as messed up as it is today, what's the generation of iPad kids going to look like in 20 years? Especially when screens and social media are not only ruining their mental health, but also making them devoid of any emotion in the first place. You see, there isn't just a rise in TikTok tics, but social media sites like TikTok and YouTube are actually shown to increase psychopathy. Now, psychopaths, otherwise known as people who suffer from antisocial personality disorder, are characterized by their coldness, manipulativeness, antisocial nature and narcissistic tendencies. And of all the people in society, they tend to be some of the most toxic, doing whatever is needed to get what they want when they want it. Society and your well-being is of no importance. They will do anything they can to get whatever they want. And this disorder is often associated with early childhood encounters such as maltreatment and rejection. And yes, you probably guessed it, extensive use of screens and social media. To be diagnosed with psychopathy, one must be over the age of 18. Before 18, a child is diagnosed with something called conduct disorder, a severe behavioral problem which often involves aggression and law-breaking tendencies. And the research clearly shows that childhood CAD symptoms are significantly associated with greater daily social media use during emerging adulthood, and that more daily social media use is significantly associated with various antisocial behaviors. Antisocial conduct in childhood is a strong predictor of criminal behavior in adulthood. And if you think about it, our society already in the West is designed to...
Bro, where are the serial killers at then, bro? Cause I've been trying to figure out. Yeah, we're gonna play today. I've been trying to figure out over the last couple years, right? I feel like we've been, as humans, as a collective society, right, have been like missing a large force for us to all be against, right? I mean, we had COVID, kinda, right? COVID was like a little... I feel like COVID was low-key a softball compared to the clowns in 2016. Clowns in 2016 was like, whoa. Everybody, bro. Local news outlets were talking about it. Everybody was like, bro, clowns, oh my gosh. Like, everybody was like kind of together on that. People back in the day had like John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, like serial killers, bro. Like, where are the serial killers at nowadays? Where they at? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? We need something for us to all collectively go against, bro. I mean, I'm not volunteering to tribute, but I'm just saying. What do you need to throw 1 out of 10? I'll probably like an 8.
To promote
Cool,
the most
8.
psychopathic of all. The most greedy, narcissistic are rewarded the most. And this hamster wheel is only going to increase. Especially with screen time hampering our capacity to interpret facial expressions and acquire social skills, both of which are crucial elements of cultivating empathy. And once social media removes empathy from the human equation, and you quickly find yourself surrounded by a large amount of Patrick Bateman-like people, the most virtue-signaling, empty, vacuous, plastic people, who have no care for the society that has brought them up, or the people around them. Just more instant gratification, more dopamine. This is the generation of iPad kids.
Right.
And of course, not everyone's going to be a psychopath.
It's gonna be my kid right here, bro.
Dopamine. This
It's gonna be my kid right here, bro. He ain't gonna have no phone. He ain't gonna have no phone. All the other kids gonna be playing with phones and shit. Nah, like my gen is not finna have no phone, bro. You gonna have to look over at your friend's phone. Oh wait. Oh, he don't even have no phone. He's playing on the DS. Oh, this might actually be my kid, bro. I'm gonna get my kid like a Game Boy Advance, bro. You gonna start young, Game Boy Advance, and maybe like a year later, you gonna get a what came out of that? DS. Then I'll upgrade you to a DSi. Then you gonna get a 3DS. You know what I'm saying? Then you gonna get a Switch. You know, yeah, we gonna go through the ringer, bro. We gonna go through the ringer. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do that because this is much better than an iPad, bro. You can't even connect to the internet. All you got is games. I don't know where my DS game's at, so we're gonna have to buy some new ones. But that's gonna be the fun of it, though. We go to GameStop and we just look. We're not gonna watch no game trailers, no nothing. We just gonna look at the boxes, bro. That's how we used to have it back in the day, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I might watch a trailer on the side to see if it's something that I'm interested in, but I'll get me a DS too, so that way I could play with the jig. You know, man, that's like I just feel like that's like, me personally, I feel like that's good parenting, but I don't know. I guess I wouldn't know until I get the kid.
And of course, not everyone's going to be a psychopath. Of course not. It's an incredibly rare thing in the first place. But the lack of empathy and growing narcissism that growing up on an iPad causes is a really worrying sign. Especially when you look at modern day influencers today, the people...
Who is this? I know who Adam 22 is. Logan and Neon, but like, who is this dude?
People actually raising your children. You see, more and more influencers are always there in your child's life now. They're the ones on your screen, the ones trend jacking.
How long ago did you record this, bro? Where the shop section at right here? Like, when did this video come out? Oh, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, bro, all I see is following, shop, and For You. And almost like every other video on my For You page is a video trying to sell me something, bro. Like, bro, I swipe again. Shop video. swiping in shop video. Like, bro, they keep on trying to sell me something, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't want to buy anything right now.
TikTok, the one setting the culture of today. And when you look at the biggest influencers now who flaunt their opulent lifestyles and endorse things like OnlyFans, are these really the people you want raising your children? The Adam 22s, Logan Pauls, Neons of the world. All of these shallow, superficial beings who fills kids' head with idiotic, sometimes dangerous ideologies. And worryingly, as more and more studies show,
could you imagine what's going on in this room whenever like the cameras is off, bro? Like they just like what do they talk about? Like,
they show influencers are having a profound impact on the psyche of kids, shaping their ideologies through the spread of distorted, emotionally charged narratives, propagating materialistic wealth, greed, self-absorption, and just bottom of the bucket behavior. Your daughter's being raised by Cardi B, Ruby Rose, Sexy Red, rapping about their genitals and the glories of promiscuity.
Rapping about their genitals.
Warping little children everywhere with the impression of what others actually find attractive. Boys who are told to get more hoes, to get more money, to neglect culture and tradition, and screw everyone over. Children to get more hoes, to get more.
That's 6'9" with a chain with a bunch of watches on it? What?
More money, to neglect culture and tradition, and screw everyone over. Children who are influenced by adults.
12 years old. When did I first watch? Wait, how old is 12? 12 is what? Like, that's not high school. No, that's like middle school, right? No, I didn't watch. I seen my first vid when I was in 7th grade going to 8th grade. So it was 7th grade summer. So how old would I have been? 14 is high school. So I would have been 13. Yeah. So I guess I was 13. So yeah. I seen my first vid when I was 13. Crazy, bro. Crazy. And the craziest thing is, I see my first vid at 13, didn't beat my shit until I was 16.
Content at such early ages. I'm not even kidding. Today, kids as young as 9 are regularly exposed to adult content. And this is not the adult content of your parents' time. We all know what this is. It's the most degenerate, debauched content imaginable. Compilations of the worst things you can think of, completely destroying your children's dopamine. Because in our society, people are just too tired and overworked to even have the time to raise their children properly anymore. So giving them an iPad to numb them just seems like the...
Okay. iPad is like... I don't know. I feel like they're using this iPad term a little loosely, right? Because it's like, you could give them an iPad. I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing to do. Because giving an iPad is like the new version of just sitting them down in front of the TV and then you just go fuck off and do whatever, right? Like, that's like just the new version of it. But I do think iPad is slightly worse, actually, now that I think about it, because you can connect to the internet, and the internet is... shit, that's a place I don't even want to be at. So I can only imagine, like, a small kid who's, like, completely, like, fresh to the world and has no idea about anything, completely ignorant. Dude,
the easier option today. But when you really think about what's going on here, when you really think about what they're being influenced by, the fact that children everywhere are watching this kind of content before they've even had their first kiss, what is this doing to children's brains? Well, not only is it ruining their attention span and their empathy, but it also has detrimental effects on their developing prefrontal cortex, a region of the brain responsible for rational decision-making and impulse regulation. Consequently, when this area is compromised, children are prone to displaying impulsive behavior and making even worse decisions. Without a fully functioning prefrontal cortex, a human runs the risk of living life full of recklessness and poor choices. Even the iPads given out in schools aren't safe. There's just more and more stories emerging involving young children, 3rd graders, being given unfiltered iPads and being fed the most disgusting involving young...
iPad filters are off, Kent. Yeah, 6 weeks?
Children, 3rd graders, being given unfiltered iPads and being fed the most disturbing material by these algorithms. Although Apple's screen time was introduced in 2018 to stop this very sort of behavior, with restrictions ostensibly designed to help parents and educators, it's usually to stop this very sort of...
That's it? 2 hours? Wait, what's my screen time look like? Wait, oh shit. Screen time. I'm only at an hour. Oh, for today. Let me see. Oh, I gotta go to last week. Daily average last week? Oh my! Okay, that doesn't count. That doesn't count because I left my phone on when I was asleep. I left my phone on when I was asleep. My daily average last week is 23 hours. That's only because I left my phone on when I was asleep, bro. I left my phone on when I was asleep last week. Chill. Because it's really supposed to be like 11, bro. That's like normal, bro. Normal for me is like 11. No, that's crazy, bro. Oh my god, am I an iPad kid?
To behavior, with restrictions ostensibly designed to help parents and educators, is usually never that effective. Children can just easily circumvent these minor obstacles and end up accessing the most depraved content you can think of. New research from Imperial Software shows that 1 in 4 young students have watched harmful or violent content online while in the classroom, and 17% were watching it on a school device. And even 1 in 10 children have used gambling sites through these iPads. And again, to be clear,
okay. What do you mean by use gambling? Like, are they using their parents' money or something? Like, where are these kids getting money from?
All in the classroom. If all this isn't depressing enough though, there's one thing that's even worse than a generation of iPad kids. Predators exploiting Generation Alpha. Now this happens with every generation, and they say that in a city, you're never more than 6 feet away from a rat. But online it seems children are never more than 6 clicks away from a predator. You see, social media has in many ways created a safe haven for predators.
Bro, look at this dude, bro. Come on, bro. Go get you some hoes, man. What you doing on this site, bro? Come on, bro. You look like you up to no good, too, bro. You beating your shit fully clothed is crazy, by the way. Like, come on, bro. You couldn't even unbutton? Like, come on, bro. Fully clothed is crazy.
Who can hide behind fake profiles and lure unsuspecting children into potentially life-destroying, even life-ending traps. Now, the Wall Street Journal published an extensive report showing how Instagram connects a vast predator network around the globe. And although Instagram users are supposed to be at least 13, many users are as young as 10. And this number is...
And that's the thing, that's the weird thing about the internet too, bro. Nobody ever says their real age on the internet, bro. I found out at a young age that I couldn't use my real age because I was on ToysRUs.com. My mom said, like, select what I want from Toys R Us because Toys R Us had a big sale that year, right? So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm finna get all these toys and stuff because she gave me the money limit and she's like, don't pass this limit. And I was like, all right, bet. So I want all this stuff because all this stuff is going to rack up to this limit and it's going to like, have a whole bunch of presents because, you know what I'm saying? So I went to ToysRUs.com to make a wish list, right? I made the wish list, and then afterwards it was like, to save the wish list, you have to make an account. I was like, oh, all right, bet. Made an account. They said, bro, I was like locked out of the whole site. I was like, what? They're like, you have to be at least 18 to make an account. Are you crazy? Toys R Us. I have to be 18 to make an account. So I was like, bro, I was destroyed, bro. I was like, yo, what? I'm only 13. I think I was like 13 or 12 or something at the time. I was like, bro, what am I going to do? So then I had to make a whole new email. Then I made this account, and I just made my age like in like the 1940s or something. And then to this day, I still use my wrong age, bro. Even though like I'm old enough now, like I still use the wrong age. You never know, bro. And like, bro, it's so stupid, bro. Oh my god, like that. And that's when I knew at that young age never to put my real age on the internet. So I already know there's a lot of people who don't do that, bro. So like, it's just kind of, I do find it funny that we're like, oh, you can't get on this site because you're this age. All they're gonna do is just make a new account with a different age on it. That's literally what's gonna happen.
Going down and down as more and more kids get
no way
iPads.
To regulate it, bro. It's
and
the
unbeknownst to them, that young child they're communicating with
no
is
way
in
to
fact
stop
a
it.
58-year-old man with the most vile
Parental controls aren't
intentions
gonna do it either.
imaginable. Meanwhile, TikTok, the most popular social media platform in existence, has been called the perfect platform for predators. Now we all know the online world is crawling with monsters.
I can see it. I can see Instagram. Instagram kind of makes sense. But TikTok? Really?
The type of people who specialize in destroying children's lives.
Oh, actually, I can't see TikTok. Never mind. TikTok is worse than Instagram.
A recent study conducted by Israeli and American cybersecurity experts reveals that predators who contact kids through social media.
Can you twerk? Heart emoji. That nigga's sick, bro.
Exploit security breaches to secretly activate their webcams without the knowledge or consent of the children. And at the same time, there's been a huge increase in cases of children falling prey to online extortion. sextortion, the criminal act of manipulating children who are then coerced into sharing explicit images of themselves with abusers. These abusers then threaten to distribute the pictures if a ransom is not paid to them.
Sexual predators are on a new playground here, targeting kids by chatting with them while they play popular video games.
CBS 8's Anna Marie McNichol working for you with how parents can protect their kids from becoming victims.
Where children are spending their time online, predators are lurking.
And disturbingly, an increasing number of reported content now involves the most severe category A images. And even more worryingly, is that children are now able to use iPads to access the dark web so easily. Now, as many of you may know, that the dark web consists of a hidden collective of internet sites, only accessible by a specialized web browser, Tor, where people can then sell various items and services, anything illegal that you want. And it recently emerged that an 8-year-old child used his iPad to access the dark web and buy a number of ridiculously dangerous items, including an AK-47. The gun even arrived to his house, with the mother eventually handing it over to the police. But this brought up an uncomfortable discussion here. If kids are being raised by iPads, they will see—
Alright, what did the 8-year-old need the AK-47 for, out of curiosity? Like, did she ask, like, why he bought it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Did he just, like, get the gun gold in Call of Duty so he wanted to get one gold in real life? Like, what was it?
every corner of the internet.
Like,
And accessing the dark web on an iPhone or iPad is remarkably easy. And once a child does so, he or she enters a world where their safety and innocence becomes endangered almost instantly.
Dark web's a crazy place. I'm not gonna lie. Dark web's a crazy place. He was the quiet kid. Oh, type shit. Yeah. I would have been his friend though. I would have been like, yo, mom, hey, he told me not to come to school today. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
See, 1 in 50 children are affected by child identity fraud, and more than half of victims are children under 9 years old. So what makes a child's identity so attractive? Well, it's likely because their social security number and credit history represents a child's identity so attractive. Well, it's likely—
Why they do that? Why he do that transition like that though?
Because their social security number and credit history represents a clean slate that may remain untouched and potentially unchecked for possibly quite a few. Represents a clean slate that may remain untouched.
Bro, her body looks stretched out, bruh. She looks so tall, bruh. They probably like 9 years old or something. A bit like 5'8".
And potentially unchecked for possibly quite a few years, even decades. And if the theft goes unnoticed, a criminal could utilize a child's social security number to establish a
got a crazy haircut, bro. What?
Credit history over an extended period, and this deception may remain concealed until the child seeks a driver's license, employment, or financial assistance for education. One thing that won't be rare with Generation Alpha and iPad kids especially is the rise of involuntary celibates, lonely, sex-starved young men, embittered by a sense of romantic failure, who find each other in communities online. You see more and more with things like Tinder, with Instagram, with adult content. All of this stuff is affecting the mental health of everyone everywhere, but especially Generation Alpha, as I've already discussed. But one thing this does is create a lack of community and cohesion. You never get to connect with people your age, and the more this happens, especially to Generation Alpha, the more involuntary celibates you get. People who can't interact with the other sex because they've never been socialized properly. And this ties in with a huge drop in testosterone levels amongst young men. In fact, prolonged social media use actually lowers testosterone levels in males.
It's been shown that social media can cause the lowering of testosterone levels.
That's affecting their sex drive and mood. More and more males are struggling with depression, anxiety, and loneliness. And this completely coincides with the drop in testosterone. Now, there's so many factors for this, and I've discussed this multiple times on this channel. And whilst there's the food, the water, the hormones in our environment, social media and digital devices are also draining the masculine vigor out of young men, rendering them limp, lifeless, loathsome, and lonesome. In fact, the average teen today is now spending up to 6 hours per day doom scrolling their lives away, and probably far more on their computer as well. And so just imagine a 5-year-old scrolling their lives away, and probably far more on their computer as well.
Chill on my league brethren, bruh. Chill on these mans, bruh. They be going through enough online, bro. Don't be bullying these guys, bro. They be going through enough, bruh. Them playing this game is depressing enough, bro. You don't even need to say nothing to them, bro.
Well, and so just imagine a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid.
Her giving her advice on how to upgrade her clan and Clash of Clans is so crazy.
Getting addicted to these algorithms from such a young age, getting their dopamine fried by these devices. By the time they're 18, they're already a full-on social media addict, with their brain fried, wasting their lives away looking at pixels. By the time they're 18, most children now in Generation Alpha will have probably spent close to 5 years completely online. And I mean that literally in the time spent looking at the devices. What does this do to a healthy human being? Is it any surprise that Generation Alpha will get angrier, fatter, dumber, lonelier? Things are bad now, but sadly things are only going to get worse here if parents continue to bring up their children with iPads. And the sad fact is,
yeah, I kind of like, I feel like the Generation Alpha kids are like the people, like whenever they become adults and they make their own kids, I feel like that's going to be more beneficial for people like me, right? Who's planning on raising their kids the right way. Because my kid's going to be a shoo-in for the varsity teams, college. Like, bro, my kid's going to be the only fit kid out there on the streets, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, if anything, hey, my kid going to the league.
Most parents don't know any of this stuff. They have no idea the consequences because they never experienced this themselves. And it's so much easier giving a kid an iPad than taking them out to do sports, which means a whole new generation is emerging. That's why Generation Alpha may very well prove to be the most problematic generation in all of human history, especially with the rise.
I would say problematic. I would just say like, it would be interesting to see them grow and how they develop. I think that's a better way to put it. Because we don't know if it's problematic. Like, for all we know, maybe having an iPad from birth all the way till 18 in college, maybe that would, I don't know, accelerate your brain growth or something. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Rise of AI, an iPhone moment on steroids. Where will this put Generation Alpha? Those born between 2012 and the mid-2020s will grow up in a world where AI assistants, not mum and dad, will reign supreme. We already have people marrying pixelated characters. Human relationships and dads will reign supreme. We already have people.
Stop, bro. There's no way this is real. There's literally no way that he is married to this little machine girl bit. There's no way. I refuse to believe this, bro. There's no way.
Marrying pixelated characters.
I don't believe that, bro.
Human relationships are dying out. AI is just adding fuel to the fire here. And as humans spend less and less time interacting in the real world and more time immersed inside virtual ones, AI partners may very well replace human ones. And as the iPads grow up, we may very well be living in idiocracy in just a few decades.
One of these companies will be bankrupt in a month. Vice, Subway, and Gold's Gym. That's such a strange lineup. That was a good video, though, man. That was really informative. As a father of a 4-year-old, I gotta say this video is terrifying. I go to the mall and see kids on darn stage, only on there, their heads slumped down, neck limp, staring at the screen, half dead. I'm gonna have to work with these people, talk to these to the parents, zombie people. True. That's what I'm saying, bro. I think, hey, that if anything, that just gives me confidence that my kid's going to the league, bro. We're removing all the competition, bro. You know what I'm saying? If anything, like, that's how I see it. You know, that's how I see it. I just think it's I think it's just gonna work out in my favor. You know, personally, I think this is a great thing for people like me and parents that have a similar mindset. Like, parents have a similar mindset that I have. I don't know why that was hard for me to say.